Okay. So we're kind of noodling around a little bit. We're going to try something again this week, and we've had a few requests for the old rugged cross. And you know, if you have if you're not part of our congregation, maybe you don't really know me yet. I'm Kathy, and I'm Pastor Dave's wife, and also the chorister. He always says, "Oh, I'm lucky me. I get to kiss the chorister." So anyway, we welcome you, and we're so glad that you could join us. And we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to sing the old rugged cross. Do my best here. There are 4 verses. 4 verses. We do that every week, you know. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. Oh, the old rugged cross, so despised by the world, has a wondrous attraction for me. For the dear Lamb of God left his glory above to bear it to dark Calvary. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. You know, we can raise it a bit if you like.
All right.
In the old rugged cross, stained with blood so divine, a wondrous beauty I we usually do, we switch places, and Pastor Dave will take the place, and I'll get behind the camera, and there you go. This is new. This is normal for us.
Okay, hello. The announcements are
Hello.
the Dish to Pass supper for next Saturday night has been canceled, so no deviled eggs next Saturday.
Or Jello.
Or Jello. Hi, hope you're all well. We're doing okay. Never mind the cough, it's just pneumonia. Nothing, nothing real serious.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Huh?
I laughed, but I shouldn't be laughing.
I have hearts in my Bible. This is great. Hearts in Isaiah. That'd be a great name for a band for my musician friends. And I'll stop it now. We're going to go back into Proverbs, and it's been a month since I've been dipping into that heavily. These are proverbial times, I'll tell you. So I have to ask a question. Have you ever been told something that really flies in the face of something you thought was absolutely true? And you were told something different, and it was actually a fact, this new something different, but it didn't sway you. You decided to go ahead and believe what you've always believed anyway. There's a couple of different words for that. Proverbs says it's one thing, and I would suggest it's something else. Here's an example. I love salt. And if I was told salt's not good for you, and you could prove it to me 1,000 different ways, I'm still going to use salt. I can't think of anything else that actually matches up to that. Caffeine. Caffeine probably matches up to that too. I still drink as much coffee as I ever used to. So, even though I've read all kinds of reports that caffeine is bad for me, I choose to believe what I have always believed with regard to coffee. Coffee is, it's an elixir, it's magical, it's wonderful. We know that we do this. We know that we were told certain facts, and we choose to believe what we've always believed anyway, no matter how much anybody proves the new fact is actually right. In Proverbs, this is kind of looked at in a different way. We spent most of chapter 1 talking about wisdom, the fear of the Lord, meaning the awful, full of awe, respect, and love for the Lord God. But there is a little bit of fear in there too. There should be. I flash back to 16 and my mother telling me, wait till Dad gets home. Now, that's fear. Fear that something really bad is going to happen because I went ahead and did something really stupid. We've all been there. Some of us are still there. Here's what Proverbs is talking about. The first bit in chapter 1 was, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. That's Proverbs chapter 1, 7 through 9. And then it talks about make sure you don't get in with bad kids, bad group of kids who just want to do, nasty things. It's more nasty than that, but that's the general idea, the general plan. Wisdom is listed in here as a woman. Very interesting. And I think it's because I know most of us boys, most of us men remember our mother as this maternal and caring wise person, whereas father, also very caring and wise, he was the thunder fist. And you would do whatever you could to not suffer the thunder fist. Well, sometimes God is like that. So we have in Proverbs chapter 1, starting in verse 20, wisdom cries out. She utters her voice in the streets. She cries in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she utters her words, saying, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and you refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But you have set at naught all my counsel, and would have none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock you when fear comes. This is the nasty part of God. This is the God who has had enough. Now, God is very long-suffering. He's been putting up with a lot of mankind for millennia. Lots and lots of millennia. He has put up with a lot of our selfishness. He's put up with a lot of our garbage. And in the body of his son Jesus, he loved us anyway, which is amazing. But here in Proverbs, he's suggesting there's going to come a time when I've had it with you clowns, and I'm going to laugh at you when you're in trouble. I will mock you when fear comes. When your fear comes as desolation and your destruction comes as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, and I won't answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would have none of my counsel. They despised all of my reproof, my teaching, my correction. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. My son, if thou wilt receive my words, and lay up my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart to understanding. Yes, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hidden treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. Out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He lays up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a shield to those who walk uprightly. He lays up sound wisdom for the righteous, for he is a shield to those who walk uprightly. He keeps the paths of justice and preserves the ways of the saints. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and justice and equity. Yes, every good path. That's a lot. Justice, righteousness, equity. That's an interesting word, isn't it? As he posts, we're not all in the same boat. There's vast differences in how so many of us are going through these times. They're going to get nuttier. They really are. Where is the faith of the believer? Some believe it is going out, regardless of whatever the mainstream media tells us. Some believe it is doing their part in not spreading this. A lot of people believe a lot of different things. What do you believe? I have said before, wisdom is calling. She really, really is. She's been calling for quite a long while. David, don't drink so much coffee. Use less salt on your mac and cheese. Who puts salt on their mac and cheese? Well, I guess you do, but
Yes, you do.
we know that there have been new facts represented or presented to us, proven to us, and we decided to ignore them and believe what we want to believe anyway. It's kind of like that last year that you believe in Santa. Well, I'm too old for Santa, but maybe. And so you stay up just to see who brings the presents in the room. Ah, Mom and Dad, I knew it. See? We're told things and we're in denial. We're proven things and we're in denial still. Talks about the death rate of this virus. Couldn't mean less. In my eyes, the next one is too much. What do I do about that? When I'm told a number of things and I'm confused, but when I prayed about it and when I've asked me, when I've searched for it, the information like treasure, like I need to and I would love to know this thing. And when I've asked and when he's shown me, put a light on the question, put a light on the answer, I've accepted that, and it's worked out pretty good for me so far. David, stop drinking. I don't know if I can do that. And he says to me, with me, you can do it. With me, God tells me, you can do anything, including maybe stop drinking coffee. Who knows? My doctor is great. He's never told me to do that, by the way. Nikki, you have told me, though.
Yeah.
If you happen to be watching. Our other daughter, Nikki. Whosoever hearkens unto me. Hearken means what? Call? See, I'm missing people. I'm looking
Yeah,
for
listens.
I generally do this. Hearken means what? And then I'll walk around, right? And then I'll walk around until I get about 5 or 6 answers, and then I'll continue on with what I was saying in the first place. And I miss the back and forth, I really do. Whoso hearkens unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from the fear of evil. Why are you scared of evil? Because it's a question mark. You don't know about it. You don't know when it's going to hit. If we knew when it was going to hit, we'd be prepared and we wouldn't be scared about it anymore. You know? A question mark is to us evil. We don't like questions. We don't at all. When is this COVID-19 going to end? Guess what? We don't know. We could start going back to business and it could really rear its ugly head and it would be horrible. Or we go back to business and everything will be fine. Or a combination of the two, depending on where you live, depending on the dynamics of the area you live in, how many people are there, what's your pollution like, any number of questions need to be answered yet about this thing. How long is it going to be until we can open up the doors of the church again? Well, I just opened them up tonight, okay, but you guys aren't invited. Sorry, but you're invited to watch this.
Not fair.
So, in a way, the doors are open. And by the way, communion is still available for anybody that would like to get a hold of me on the phone or on Facebook or email. I'm still doing them. If you'd like, I'll go to your place. And there's an isolationist way to do it. So, and that came from a woman and I and my son working together, trying to figure out how to do this the right way. We asked for wisdom. We prayed about it because I was hurting because I don't get to see you guys. Mm-hmm. I don't get to play with you in the playground that I think this is sometimes. If you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then shall you understand the fear of the Lord, and not just the fear of the Lord, but his love, his caring for you, us, his provision, his protection, and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom, out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding, including the times when he's saying, you know better. Stop being in denial. You know this new fact is the right one, not the one that you have always believed. To be a Christian is to change your mind, change your heart. Pardon me. Jesus said, behold, I make all things new again. And that includes stupid information. That includes ways you react to things. That includes opening up your mind and your eyes and understanding that this is aggravating. We don't know it all.
What?
I sure don't.
I should say that for somebody else here. What?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
We're all individuals, not me.
Yeah, speaking for somebody else who might be in the audience here. What? I don't make mistakes. What?
No. I don't know everything. I'm thankful to my wife for saying, boy, that's for sure. That's for certain. Keeps the paths of justice, preserves the way of the saints. Then you understand righteousness and justice and equity and every good path. When wisdom enters into thine heart and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, and not such a pain in the neck, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver you from the way of the evil man, from men that speak dark and perverse things, who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the perverseness of the wicked, to deliver you from the strange people.
Mm-hmm. We're all strange.
We're all strange. We'll continue in Proverbs here and there. These are proverbial times. Seek wisdom. And I don't mean by going to all the psychos on YouTube or name the network. Turn the bloody TV off. Read. Look at some history. That should give you some advice. Look at his word. Read his word. And read it with new ears. Behold, let the Lord make your ears new so that you're hearing something for the first time, even though you've read it and seen it thousands of times before. One of my deacons here, constantly, he's about 70. He says, you know, I've read that verse and heard sermons on that verse. It's got to be hundreds of times. And I never saw that part before. And he's a guy like me who struggles with it. Wow. You recall in the show All in the Family, Archie Bunker, when he used to say, it says so right in the Bible. And what he said previous to that statement was something that was never been in the Bible ever at all. Don't be that person. Look at his word and be open. Say, Wisdom, I hear you calling. Tell me what you've got to tell me. Answer me. I don't want you to mock me because I'm scared right now. I don't want you to make fun of me because I didn't listen to you before. I want to listen. Keep on asking, but be prepared to change, because it says here, I called and you refused. I stretched out my hand and you didn't take it. You would have none of it. None of my correction, none of my teaching. So I'll laugh at your calamity, because you knew better. Do what you know is right and just and equitable. Be safe, stay well, read your word.
Do you want to play again?
I can play again. What do you want me to play?
I don't know. Something uplifting. I don't know.
Okay.
Reassuring.
I'll close us in prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you for the time that we can have together here on our messages. I'm looking forward to the day when we can get people in here in our church again. Father, I thank you for forcing some rest on some of us, because wow, did we need it, because wow, did we have to change our minds, because wow, were we getting things wrong. Help us love one another enough to do what is right and just, and help us be more holy day by day as you are holy. Help us keep each other in mind, keep each other in touch with each other. Calling, not just, typing on Facebook, but giving a phone call here and there, especially to those who may not have Facebook or internet or things of that nature. Help quell our fear in these troubling times, and help keep us joyous and strong. I ask these things, Father, in your name, in the name of your Son, Jesus, and in the name of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Now I got to figure out what to play.
How about What a Friend We Have in Jesus?
Oh, all right. My
We're gonna-
version of it.
We're going to follow him to the piano, and those of you who come to the church, well, you know what it's like. So another bit of familiar for you.